Hi, I'm Dr. Steve Sinatra, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about hearts, but a lot about horses. What I've been doing for the last, 7 or 8 years, is bringing metabolic cardiology, one of the greatest discoveries I've ever made in my lifetime, to the equine. And when we talk about metabolic cardiology, we're literally talking about infusing the cells with ATP. ATP is the energy of life. It's our vital force. One of the ways of increasing ATP is by using supplements like carnitine and CoQ10, magnesium, and ribose, because they get into the inner mitochondrial membrane, because we only have 8 seconds of ATP in the body. So we have to constantly make it. When you put like a billionth of an amp of, let's say, electricity into the body, what you're doing is you're not only detoxifying the body, but you're literally delivering more ATP to the cells. And when I also saw the effect that the Equiscope had on my son, I wanted to bring the Equiscope to the table for helping the equine, and particularly the Thoroughbred, because now I thought I had almost like a trifecta. In other words, I was putting my horses on a non-GMO organic diet. I was giving them some beet pulp. I was giving them great food. Now I'm giving them nutraceutical support to turn over ATP. And now I'm going to enhance that with electroceutical support, where I'm going to drive ATP in a preferential direction. I felt that I was onto something here. And the first horse that I did my experiments on was a horse by the name of Elusive Charlie. We were going to sell him in Lexington, Kentucky at a sale, but he must have flipped over in his stall, or he must have done something. Nobody really knows what happened. But he ended up with a gash on his face, and his vertebrae in his neck got dislodged, and Elusive Charlie was unsaleable. He had so much pain in his neck, and he had so much discomfort that he wasn't making healthy sperm because he was inflamed. So here I was, I had a fantastic animal, couldn't make it to the racetrack, and now I couldn't breed because I tried him on multiple mares, and it was a disaster. So I called John Thorp. I said, John, can you help me? So John says, yeah. They brought the Equiscope. We had veterinarians there, and we had x-ray technicians there. John was there, I was there. We're treating Charlie, and we're trying to fix Charlie. And Charlie's in pain. And after a couple of days with using the Equiscope, and we were putting plates on his back and plates on his neck, and the x-ray showed he had a dislocated neck and his vertebrae were out of place. He was a mess. But then after a few days, we were detoxing him, and we were looking at the plates that we were putting on the body that were coming back black. We're infusing him with electrical energy. We're giving him nutraceutical support. And then all of a sudden, we let Charlie out in a 5-acre field, and now he's running. He's literally running. We're all crying, and now he's running, and I'm saying, oh my gosh, maybe Charlie can breed. We brought 13 broodmares to Charlie, and Charlie got them pregnant. And I'm saying, this is phenomenal. And I was thrilled. I was amazed. Out of Charlie's 13 offspring, 12 of them hit the board, meaning that they were either first, second, or third. And it was like incredible. So Charlie is special, but he was really special on Admirals War Chest. Admirals War Chest, when he busts out of the gate, he wants to lead. Here's what happened. On his first few races, jockeys were trying to teach him. They're trying to teach a horse to come off the pace. That's the way, the best horses run. They'll be running with the pack, and then they'll save something for the end, and the jockey will ask the horse to run. The horse will run. He'll pick up horses in the stretch, and he wins. That's the classical way of training horses. But when you have a horse that wants to lead, you can't fight with him. And I was telling my trainer, I was telling the jockeys, I said, look, let this horse take the lead. If nobody catches him, we win. If somebody catches him, it's my fault. But I'll tell you this, if a horse wants to lead, and you hold that horse back, and you prevent him from taking that lead, the horse may say to you, hey, I'm not going to run for you. And that's what could have happened, because out of 9 races, he won 1 and placed a few times, but his last couple of races before the Maryland Million, he didn't do well. So We put him back in the barn, put him back in the Equiscope, gave him a massage, gave him a lot of love. Then I raced him at Penn National in the mud as a prep for the Maryland Million, and he wins by 5 lengths. And the instructions to Tammy Pemarini, a fantastic female jockey, was take the lead and see what he does. He took the lead, won by 5 or 6 lengths, never looked back. Didn't even have any mud on him. I mean, he was perfectly clean. Now we're in the Maryland Million. We gave Taylor Hawley instructions, take the lead. Taylor took the lead, lengths, ran 3/4 and 111 and change, and won the race. You know, one of Todd Pletcher's horses almost caught him at the end, but we still took home the gold that day, which was really great. So why am I telling you this story? Well, first of all, we fixed the father, the sire, Elusive Charlie. We fixed him. We're treating him with the Equiscope. We're treating him with my nutraceuticals. We're bringing metabolic cardiology to the table, and we're treating him with a really stellar diet. His son won the Maryland Million Classic, and I've had multiple winners out of Elusive Charlie. He has literally stamped all his mares. In other words, he has improved every single mare. What I bring to the table in horse racing is my mission of helping the equine. In other words, if I can reduce inflammation in these animals, and if I can make them feel good, and take away some pain and suffering, and if they can perform well at the same time, it's a win-win for everybody. But some of the research I did previously at Gluck, at the University of Kentucky, the Gluck Institute, shows that these horses are so inflamed that it was beyond my imagination. When we published studies on these horses with inflammatory cytokines, even myself, who knew they were inflamed, they are much more inflamed than we can possibly think they are. They get inflamed from just training, from living in stalls, not getting sunlight, breathing in dust in stalls, not eating good food, getting metabolic syndrome from too much sugar in the diet, getting Lyme disease, which I feel is a huge factor in these horses, or EPM. But once a horse gets inflamed, it takes away from performance. So what I'm trying to bring to the table in thoroughbred racing is not only a stellar diet and nutraceutical support, but also electroceutical support that will increase ATP, give the horse less inflammation so they can perform better. Now the grail is this, and I'm still working on this. My biggest mission in my life right now is to unlock the mystery of equine-induced pulmonary hemorrhage. And what happens here is when the horse is galloping or at the track and their ribs are hitting the lungs, and they get such severe oxidative stress, whether it's from anoxia or trauma of the lungs banging against the ribs. There's so many different theories out there that the horses can bleed. And when they bleed, they can't run because they get basically blood in their airway. Now in the United States, we give Lasix. However, in Europe, Lasix is banned. And Lasix basically takes a lot of fluid out of the horse. I mean, you know, one of the expressions, pee like a racehorse, came from using Lasix, because these horses would literally lose 10 or 20 pounds of weight because they're urinating so much from giving them a diuretic. However, using Lasix has a downside. You lose minerals, you weaken the horse, you can dehydrate the horse, then the horse has to drink back gallons of fluid after the race. So my mission is I'm trying to race horses off Lasix. With a combination of this therapy, nutraceutical support, and diet, I think I can. And I'm almost there. A combination of magnesium and anti-inflammatories and coenzyme Q10 and different forms of vitamin E like gamma-tocopherol and kelp and minerals and iodine, and get these horses to perform without Lasix, reduce their inflammation. I think I can become significant in the thoroughbred industry, and my goals, and hopefully, someday I can make that come true.